What's going on, Planet Poke people? It's me, Diogen Z, here with some more Pokemon Conquest. Today, we will be taking over Volera, the land of steel-type warriors. Their might is massive, defense near impenetrable. But we're doing it today. We are going to take down Volera and all the steel warlords that may try to stop and resist. They'll have no choice but to bend to our whim. Victory or defeat, which will it be? Let us take gamble. I'm betting on the victory side. Just a hunch.
Lord Diogen Z, at last. I've been waiting most patiently for your arrival. Now allow me to introduce some of the warriors who serve me.
I am Taraxu. And I am Ina.
Lord Nobunaga and I are old acquaintances. The idea of betraying him is simply unthinkable. As a result, I am honor-bound to do battle to the full extent of my abilities.
Then I hope your abilities are mighty, my friend. Because we've got grand strategy in this match. I've worked out this map quite well, people, and I think I've nailed a pretty nasty maneuver to claim victory nearly every time. A lot of people see this map as being one of the most annoying because of the gears. Then I'll show you what they do shortly. But a lot of people think that this can be a very drawn out match because of the way of the paths being blocked every time you step on one of those gears, because what those gears act as is a trigger for the gateways. The cog wheel will spin all the gateways and switch them so that certain Pokemon can proceed and others are prohibited from continuing further to maybe wage war on your team. What you have to do is make sure that you skillfully work all these cogs and maneuver the gates so that Ieyasu and his team doesn't have a chance to annihilate you with their strong and somewhat scary steel-type moves if you get backed into a corner. Ideally, you want to do the opposite of that and back them into the corner instead.
Ina, you know what to do.
Yes, Father. We have a father and daughter team here today working out. Let's see if they gain any strength from their parental-child bond. Lord Ieyasu, I have opened the path for you. Please go through.
Thank you.
Protecting Lord Ieyasu is our only duty as warriors. We will do whatever we can to assist our lord.
Yeah, you could see the Kingdom of Volera really takes the duties on its hand quite seriously. And not in a childish kindergarten manner, he said duty, kind of way. But this is good. This is the way that I've wanted this match to go. Direct the main onslaught of Aggron and Metagross away from my stronger members, being Flareon and Gurdurr waiting in the wing, and wipe out these weaker members first. Now, do keep this in mind. If you take one turn to even just sit on the wheel and attack, it will turn. So plan that in your strategy. Know that if you're going to sit on the wheel and attack, there will be a cost for it. There will be a spin of the wheel, and it will change up how the map is played. Keep that open. This way, Aron keeps trying to attack the evolutions. Now that thing that looks like a movable mouse / webcam that is all on its own moving, that thing is pretty freaking annoying if you get in its path. If you get in its way and it happens to see you, it will raise a claw from the sky, or lower a claw rather, and raise your Pokemon that was spotted by it into the sky and place them in another position of the map. This can be very problematic, as you'll see soon. Well, I'm not going to show it off, but you could imagine, rather, when we are trying to set up here on our opponent, and it's very vital that we keep them at a good, safe distance away and make sure that they don't come into our terrain. Because sometimes you have no options at all. Or not sometimes, all the times you have no options of where the claw drops you. But some of those times it will fall into the enemy's area. So this mid-space here that is pretty much dominated by Ieyasu and his team, it could just plummet you there. And that would be a major problem. I'm going to play it safe and see how I can get Gurdur across the field. He's somewhat of a slow-moving character, so I have to be cautious when moving in front of that all-seeing eye claw thing. And unfortunately, Vaporeon is not at a good spot to attack, so instead, let's deal some more damage on Shingling. Oh good, we got the flinch going on. And spin it up so that Vaporeon is in line to hit. Awesome, 2 Pokemon at once. I love Hydro Pump. Yeah, you could switch around your roles however you want. Either way, there's an Aron that's leaving the field.
I am grateful for the sacrifices you have made.
It is only right that we risk our lives in order to protect you, Ieyasu. Forget us and deal with the enemies in front of my lord.
I must achieve victory for the sake of all these people.
Now, I do not know if you all watched these episodes so closely that you would remember a story, a bit of an anecdote I told before, but something that you should know is that Ieyasu in real-world history was a highly celebrated military general, if you could consider him in the military, but it was the Japanese form, the samurai back then. He was responsible for uniting a nation, and I forget what year that was, but he is a humongous warlord, very well known, very prolific throughout Japanese history. And oh goody, Quagsire is coming our way. Perfect for Carnivine to completely destroy. So I do not know a whole lot of Ieyasu, just that he is responsible for uniting Japan in the war-torn times of the, I guess, feudal samurai period. So he's known for doing that. And to see him in this game, it's pretty awesome. Hideyoshi is up there also as being one of the more important warlords. But I remember that Hideyoshi and Ieyasu did have some kind of relation with each other. I don't remember if it was a good one, but I remember there was his son Hideyori who played into the whole politics of the thing, but it looks like Gurdur's entrance there is blocked off, so I won't count on them stepping on that gear to help me out anytime soon. But it's awesome. I would definitely say if you want to get a richer experience out of Pokemon Conquest, you go ahead and head back into the history, the true history of Japan, and look up how things went down with these warlords in real life. There's a new podcast that I just recently downloaded that I have to take a listen to called A Short History of Japan. And it's every episode a brief lesson about Japan, and hopefully within the coming episodes of this, you'll be hearing some more awesome stories from Japan based on those podcasts. Whatever I absorb that's relevant here, I will bring to you. You know how I like to mix up the commentary a bit. Damn you, Qingling! How dare you hold on? Ooh, that was close. Gurdur almost got snatched up by that all-seeing eye. I don't know if it would grab him if he wasn't on the floor with the eye, but I wouldn't want to risk it. So this method that I'm doing here of switching up the gates at the starting place, I recommend doing that to get rid of the more annoying little enemies like Aron and Qingling. They'll be easily led over and they have a quick move space. They can move around the map pretty easily, not as swiftly, or I should say much more swiftly than Aggron can, which is great because they will be more focused on going after this sector of your Pokemon, which then you can answer with super effective fire types. But do remember that this Quagsire is put to be a big Quagmire in your team. If you solely bring fire types to this match, you may in fact lose. You will not have a super effective advantage against that Quagmire, and in fact you'll be at a major disadvantage when it attacks with its Mud Bomb. I'm not actually sure what its attack is because it just moved back and still didn't attack. Oh, I see what it's doing. Yep, Ina is just making way for Taraxu, so he can take control of this match and use his Metagross to mash up my Carnivine before it can cut down Quagsire in time. I don't think it's going to get that chance, though. Don't you? Haha, I didn't think so. Ah, Vaporeon. I don't think we need your time anymore. We'll take the rest of your HP slowly but surely with Girder, even if he misses once or twice. Good. Now Metagross is exposed. And if I had to guess, he's probably going to get a revenge kill or try to get some revenge damage on us for taking out his daughter. Victory may have eluded me this time, but I will return. I'm sure you won't. I'm sure you won't. Alright, Fortify. I think that's it. I don't want to risk getting attacked by that Metagross by coming any more forward with my fire types. So we will see what Taraxu does next. Let him make the play. Oh. And that was a bad idea, trying to let Girder handle Qingling. I forgot. It's a psychic type, isn't it? Yeah. That would explain why I didn't do any super effective damage on it. Oh, that's a Pokemon I rarely, if ever, raised. So it's hard for me to sometimes remember what it actually did or even its type. Kind of funny how those things slip your mind over time. If you ever do forget, though, you can always hover your cursor over the Pokemon to see the type and all that good information. A nice thing that is somewhat of a relief during this match is that Aggron oftentimes misses with his Iron Tail. Okay, this is going to do very puny amounts of damage, but it will place Metagross back where I need it to be, in front of my Charmeleon, so that we can get some super effective fire-type damage on it. And now we're swooping in for the kill here, people. We're taking him out. Hydro Pump by Fire Fang by whatever means is super effective. This is why rushing into any Kingdom takeover battle without a proper strategy is a foolish move. Like I did during my first run of this game, I thought, it's just a Steel-type trainer or Steel-type warlord, what could it matter? I just need fire types and I'll win, right? Wrong. This terrain completely changes up how you play the game, very similarly to how Kenshin and the territory of Ieyasu was a very different game, although we did not verse it in this Conquest walkthrough. It was done in my Pokemon and Nobunaga's Ambition walkthrough on my channel, so you can check it there, but it definitely changed up how you played. Limited move space, limited ways to navigate around the map just by the way of gates and cogs and wheels, manipulating how different Pokemon can get past, but with a little bit of patience, letting your opponent do some of the work for you where necessary, you can win this match pretty easy. It does help to have that Vaporeon, I must say. It really is a large assist in so many ways. The fact that it has that long-ranging Hydro Pump, the fact that Hydro Pump is so powerful, Aggron is also a rock type, not only steel, so it's super effectively hit by that. That helps out a ton. And yeah, I love Vaporeon. It is one of my favorite evolutions. Before there was an Umbreon, I loved Vaporeon the most. But I've always been a water trainer fan. So, might as well use our warrior skill to finish off Chingling. And now it's just a matter of time, Metagross. Taraxu, you have failed. Sorry, friend. Your ambitions were noble, I suppose. Trying to protect your lord, as you put it, and his ambitions to protect his friend Nobunaga. I really do wonder how that friendship all started. It must have been in a time where Nobunaga wasn't hell-bent on flattening the world of Ronsei with the legendary Pokemon that created it, which now we can fully see from the outer map that shows us where all the kingdoms are. It's Arceus, or Arceus, however you want to pronounce it. Tomato, tomato, I've heard it been pronounced both ways. But I do believe it is officially Arceus, if you look at the pronunciation. And why not? Why not? Why not just boost all of our health, even though it is pointless? Just to doubly smite our enemy. That's right, you never got close to taking out Pignite. You thought you were, but you really weren't.
How could I be forced to retreat?
Quite simply, with fire types, against your very malleable steel once it's all heated up.
And victory is ours!
And more linkage is given to all of our warriors and Pokemon who fought bravely in that battle. Good job, everyone. A linkage boost is in order. And unfortunately, none of them want to join our team. Too bad. Ieyasu would have been an awesome ally. But we already know he's with Nobunaga.
Defeat? Surely not. Bravo, Lord Diogen Z. It would appear that my army was incapable of halting your progress. Now go, Lord Diogen Z. I shall be watching your forthcoming battle against Lord Nobunaga with great interest.
So although we defeated him, and although we do proceed to get closer to smiting Nobunaga, he has great interest in what we may do to his domain. And yes, Ember is on the team. That's why, people, it is very, very advantageous to go ahead and train every month all of your members. Even the timid ones that look like they won't amount to much of anything, it is vital to train everyone. So, I will see you in the next episode, in which we may or may not train. Haven't decided yet. We shall see.